My name is Denmark West. I'm the president of digital media at BET, a subsidiary of Viacom. I was one of the panelists in a discussion about broadband and delivery to underserved communities. We had a discussion about where the opportunity lies, just in terms of who you're trying to solve for. One aspect of that are the people who don't have access to broadband today. There's about 10% of the population that doesn't have access to broadband today. Versus the 90% who actually have the potential to get it, meaning they can call a service provider and say, I want to sign up for broadband. Of that, 90%, there's about a third who actually still haven't signed up. And so the question then becomes twofold. One is, how do we get access for the people who don't have access at all? They tend to live in rural areas. So rural areas, just because of the economics of infrastructure development and deployment, it's just a lot harder because fewer people per square mile means more money per person to develop. So that the rural piece is one, and then in the places where there is actually accessibility and availability, how do you get adoption? It really became a conversation, and at least the points that, coming from an entertainment perspective, how do you actually drive a value proposition that's based upon things that we already know consumers want? So we know they want entertainment. You think about the games business as an area where people are willing to spend money in pretty good numbers to either buy a handheld device like a Nintendo DS or DSi, console devices, Xbox 360, the PS3, the Wii, the related online services, Xbox Live, the PlayStation. So there's a lot of money that's associated with that entertainment that, if you sort of do the comparison, there are people who have similar circumstances in terms of economics that aren't buying broadband but are buying games. So there's complexity there in terms of how people perceive the value. You combine that with Corey Belcher's survey information, and the data would suggest that a significant percentage, it looked like about a third of the people who don't have broadband say they don't either understand or have a need for broadband, which means that there's an education problem there as well. So those are the points that I tended to focus on, because I think that there's a value proposition associated with being in the entertainment industry and using entertainment as the way to put sugar around any medicine that you need to give to people.